Un preso recluido en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Link.
Hello?
Hello, Joe.
Yeah, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Ups and downs in football, that's it. And shout out to ICEMAN, his team won, you know?
That's right. Yeah, they definitely won. It was really a real nail biter on that one. I know Jesse and David were giving us the score and whatnot, so it didn't look too good at the beginning, but halfway or almost towards the end, they pulled it off.
Yeah, that's all that matters, the W. It ain't how you start, it's how you end.
That's right. And how's everything been for you? For you?
It's been good. We got pizza and like I told you with the Kobe Bryant the other day, the 26th. That's always everything's a reminder for me. But that's always right there, and that just happened, you know. Yeah, we got pizza, we got football that happened, and that's pretty much it, man. Just right here, you know.
Man, that's right. Yeah, you know what? I thought about it that day too. When I think it was Wednesday that day. How did you cope with that? Thinking about it's pretty much like the anniversary of Angel's life being taken.
Yeah. That's Well, I think it will be easy to say that that's the only day I think about it, right? But that's not, because remember I told you, like, we share birthdays. We were born on the same day, same year, same hospital. Like, everything's the same. So New Year's is the same thing. January 26th is the same thing. Christmas, my birthday, Easter, Thanksgiving. Those are all. They're all pretty much the same day for me, you know. And like I said earlier on, like, I didn't think about stuff like that. I didn't think about stuff like that. The first time I ever thought about anything was 2008, and that was because my mom was going through a tough time with the economy. But now, that's always on the forefront of my mind, you know. And that's a constant reminder for me. It's a constant reminder for me to do good, you know. And yeah, I'm done with that life.
Man, yeah, man. Well, I'm glad. I'm definitely glad to hear that you changed your life around. You changed the way you think, your mentality, and you're on a different path now.
Yeah.
And last time that we spoke, because it's been like maybe almost like a week now that we haven't been on a live, just because what's going on with me out here and me running around and doing these in-person interviews and life in general. But
yeah.
Anything exciting happened in the last week or so?
No, not that I can recall. No.
just prison, right?
I'm searching, my mind's searching, but I can't grab nothing, you know. Oh, but what I will say is this, James. I will say this. I'm watching the football games today, and Kansas City won, and they show a shot of Taylor Swift, right? And I can't help but think this girl's pregnant, you know. And if she is, you heard it first right here on You Have a Call From, because that's breaking news. If she turns out to be pregnant off of one look I seen of her, we just called that, me and James, right now. And
there it is. Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I told someone I was talking to earlier. They're like, man, how can you tell like that? I'm like, man, I don't know. She just got to look to her, you know. She just looked different today, you know. And yeah.
Yeah. Man, Trip, yeah.
So we're being Metici. You get your telenovela right here.
And right now, I glanced over to the chat right now, and I noticed ICEMAN. He's dropping a comment in here for us. Hello, James, and hello, Big Joe. And then we also got D86, and she's she's telling everybody, hello, everyone.
Okay, yeah. A big shout out to both of those. Hello. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening here. I know Iceman is he on cloud nine. He was sweating bullets for a little bit, but he back up on cloud nine now.
Yeah, I think he was. I think that he was at the edge of his seat. He was quiet for a long time in the chat. But then when they started winning, he became vocal. So
he came to life, huh? You know, James, we got a lizard, and the lizard's like that. Like the cell's cold, so he just goes to sleep. He goes to like hibernation stage, and we warm up the hot pot and put a towel on top of it so it gets hot. And the little lizard wakes up when he feels the heat. He's like, "What's up? What's up?"
Hey man, I hope IGI don't hit you, over that lizard. They might be listening. So
nah, they're all right. The lizard's name is we call him Chupon Man.
Chupon Man.
He's a baby. Chupon Man. That's his name.
Oh,
that fool's so chill that he don't run around or nothing. He waits for us to pick him up, and then he runs all over us. Like he goes all crazy.
Man, that's cool, man.
But he don't try to get away or nothing. He's like, this is home,
Yeah. And then D just put in here. She said she had that pregnancy glow. So yeah, I think a lot of people, they're seeing it.
She did.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hopefully if she's pregnant, they backtrack who was the first one to say it, and major views kicking off right here.
Yeah, I'm about to change the name of this video to Taylor Swift pregnant. Let's talk about it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, man, and that girl, Suicide Squad, Marco Robbie, what's her name? That's her name, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
No, well the Joker's girl, right? They put Ken up for a nomination and they skipped Barbie. I seen that. That's what happened this week,
Oh man.
So I know they're upset. You're like, I don't know nothing about this, but yeah, it was a big thing to get,
Yeah.
I was shocked. Yeah.
So last time.
Last time what?
Last time that we spoke, I have no recollection of where you were at on your journey. Do you remember where you were at?
Man, I'm at the tail end. It don't even matter where I was at. It's all rehabilitation. That part, it's all rehabilitation and all the groups and I think I was talking about the cops and how we'll have deep conversations and it was eye opening. It was eye-opening to see some of these old war dogs talk about their change as far as, like, being mean to inmates and then, like, slowly coming around,
Yeah.
Oh, I got news. For you, too. The playing sports with the correctional officers, right?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know because they didn't advertise it like that. But they were like, hey, sign up for this. And I was like, I didn't even know what I was signing up for. But they were like, yeah, you might like this. But they were signing everybody up. But nobody even knew what it was. But it was for that. So I signed up, definitely signed up. And I think it's going to be no contact. So it's going to be like horseshoes or like a chess game or stuff like that, I think that's what I'm being told. And some other late breaking news, those of you who know people incarcerated, I believe CMC got they got their house updated, James. They got some improvements on their home. So they got their family visit. The rooms do not look the same. They got like a nice setup where it looks like a hotel or it looks like it just looks a lot better than what it used to, So I don't know if CDC is going to do that with every prison or just certain ones, or I don't know what they're doing. But they did it at CMC already.
And for those of us that are not familiar with CMC, that would be California Men's Colony, right?
Yeah, that would be that. Yeah, St. Louis Obispo, somewhere up there.
Okay, yeah, I actually been up there a few, not it's been a while, maybe like 15 years. I had a buddy that paroled from there, and I went to pick him up, and I wish I could say that that he changed his life and he learned from going to prison. Unfortunately, he has not, and he's been doing life on the installment plan, and he recently reached out to me
Yeah,
from Delano, Kern Valley. But
yeah,
I stopped
yeah.
taking his phone calls last year because there's just no hope anymore. It's like why am I gonna continue? Speaking to him. Picking up phone call after phone call. Year after year, where he's not even. There is no progress on him. All he's worried about is the
Esta
streets,
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
and gang life. So. Sad to say.
Yeah.
I hate to be that person, because I'm normally that friend that'll normally pick up your calls, or do whatever I can, and sometimes people take that for
Yeah.
granted, and expect you've been there for the last 20 years, and they expect you to do another 20 years, and I had to unfortunately I had to cut him off.
It's funny you say that because I've always said the same thing, and a lot of my peers have said it in here, right? Like, if you ever let me out, I'll never come back, right? And I meant that wholeheartedly when I was saying it. This is way before days of rehabilitation. It was just like something I knew. I don't find prison to be fun, right? And I always would trip out how the streets would, like, I don't know, they have like a different view of it. They have like a lot of romance in it or glamorizing it, and I just be like, I would never, ever in my life come. I messed up once as a kid, and I knew it wouldn't be continuous, right? But I say this because there was a guy when I was telling my story on New Delano, and that was like 2006 to 2010, and this gentleman was over there with me, and he's over here with me now. And when he left, he was in my eyes, he was smart. And I was like, this guy's gonna. He don't look like he'll come back to jail. I didn't. The way he talked, the way he acted, tattoos and appearance wise, it looked like he was still messing around. But the individual man he was, I thought he would never come back. And we never had those talks over there, but I just thought, right? And he came back, and he has life, and he got it when he was older. And I can't help but think, like, what did you do? Fool, you were here with us. You knew we all had life, and you were one of the small portion that got to go home, and you came back. And who knows what he did, but he came back with life. And he was talking to me recently, and I was like, well, you got, and he's like, oh, no, I got older. Remember I left? And I'm like, oh, I can't, like, I forgot that, So, I don't know what to say about people like that. Like, I'm speechless,
Yeah, it sucks, like you would think, like because prison at the end of the day, if you think about it, it's a young man's game. I couldn't see
Yeah.
myself, going to prison at 40 or 50 years old. That's a death sentence for somebody, at that age, going to prison.
And it's a death sentence, but it's also like embarrassing. It's also like there's so much more attachments to that I don't think people really realize if they're coming back at that age, right? Like, what are you doing? You're supposed to have a house. You're supposed to have kids. You're supposed to, like, your family. Even if it didn't work out, like, you got a baby mama out there and you're with your new girl, but, like, you're supposed to be living life, As good or as bad as it may be, you're not supposed to be in prison. And I'm not saying that young kids are, but in my experience, most of us that came in here, we were young.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Most of the people I know with a life sentence or a LWOP, they all were young kids, and they were making poor decisions, right? I really don't know nobody that was like 28, had a job, and then he comes to jail. Like, you really don't meet those guys. Everyone's always like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. If you're busted at 22, you're like, what are you doing, you know? So I never met older people. And I know him now, but that's not typical in prison, at least in California, you know?
Yeah. I know the call's about to hang up in about 10 seconds or so. So if you want to go ahead and give us a call back, and we can go ahead and continue.
Okay.
So right now, you know how I was talking about an old friend that I had that, you know, I stopped taking his phone calls, and he started calling me a few days ago. And I you know, when I got the call, you know, it said what was it, Delano or Kern, and I was like, man, like I was like, this could only be one person. So I had been I had looked them up on the LASD, is it what, Los Angeles Sheriff Department org website, but the only thing I could see was that he wasn't in county custody anymore, that he was released to, you know, to the state. So right now that I started talking to Joe, I went ahead and to the CDCR website and looked him up, and yep, he's definitely back in prison.
This call is now being recorded.
Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Joe Perez.
un preso recluido en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah.
So so right now, you know, while we were talking, I jumped onto the CDCR website, and I looked up, you know, my ex friend, or what, you know, whatever I want to call him, and and man, so he was just admitted, you know, January 18 of this year, and he's about to get home. He's about to go home. His parole date's gonna be March of 2024.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm sorry to laugh, guy. I don't know. You know, I hope you get better out there, man, and I hope you give it up. Like, yeah, there has to be a point in your life, and you got to grow up, you know. And it's sad to see like people, you know, people like him, people like that are in and out, and I think that's why CDCR gave us a second chance. Like, I know that ain't the only reason, because we had Elizabeth Calvin and Scott Budnick fighting for juveniles to get a second chance, right? But at the same time, you know, the feds were cracking down on California, saying you guys are housing too many inmates. Like, get this number down. For the fact checkers or the stat keepers, right? Pretend the world is a dollar bill, right? In criminals, in people that are incarcerated, right? It's a dollar bill in the world. Now, the United States of America, to the best of my knowledge, has a quarter in that dollar bill. So you got 3/4 with the rest of the world, and you got 1/4 in the United States of America. And here's another numbers, right? I thought it was normal for juveniles to get life. Like, I didn't know that. And of course, when I got busted, I tell you, James, I thought I was going to YA, right? But when they, you know, when I get life, and I realized it, I think, okay, well, we're catching up to the world, you know, because this is land of the brave, home of the free, you know, like that's all I know, because school teaches us that, right? Now, to the best of my knowledge, nobody gives juveniles life sentences or LWOPs. It's only us, and I believe it's Israel. Now, I might be wrong, so, you know, them Google fingers, they could get the real stats. If I'm incorrect, forgive me for saying that. But I do believe that's what's up. I believe like China, Japan, Tokyo, Mexico, Canada, Europe. Like, nobody gives a juvenile a life sentence, you know? And so when the feds are like, you got to reduce these numbers, and at the same time, Elizabeth Calvin and Scott Budnick are making so much noise about these juveniles, I think the prison system, the state has numbers, and they have numbers that go back to these inmates that come in and out, in and out, in and out. They're life-term offenders on the installment program, right? They're not committed to do a whole sentence, but they'll come in and out.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
They'll be taking bites at it. They'll be taking a nibble here, a nibble there, in, out, in, out, in, out. Now, a lifer, our numbers of recidivism, and that's the word they used to say, like coming back to jail, our numbers, to the best of my knowledge, I mean, we could be at 1%, who knows? But to the best of my knowledge, I think we're under that 1%. We're at like 0 point something something. So since they started letting out the juvenile lifers, since all this started happening, SB260, we're at like a 0 point something %. So when they let us out, they know we're not going to come back. Now, there's probably a whole lot that goes into it. Definitely self-help is a part of it, right? But there's another part that no one talks about, and it's just like, I'm not going back to jail. Like, I can't do this again. I'll give up everything cold turkey. Like, I realize I made poor choices in my childhood, and those will not be repeated. I'm hanging up the towel. You know, like, that's kind of general mindset. When you get a life sentence, you kind of lose everything. And when you lose it, you kind of see how precious it is. So in your mind, with nothing more, just that, you're going to be like, I will never do this again. I'll never lose my shot at life again. Because you were trained to die in here. So if you get out, it's like a win that you never should have had, so to speak. So that's why I think our numbers are extremely low at coming back to jail. Like, we just don't do it, you know? And I know a person who did do it with a drug problem, but aside from that one person, I don't know nobody else they let out with a life sentence that came back.
And you know what? Right now, when you were talking, I went ahead and looked it up and to check if the United States is the only country in the world that permits youth to be sentenced to life without parole. And
and Israel too, I think.
I didn't see Israel on here, but it doesn't say, it doesn't talk about any other countries, but it does say that that the United States is it. It's the one that
it's the one.
Yeah, that's gonna condemn.
Juvenile lifers, yeah.
Yep.
And when you're growing up over here, when you know, like, that happens, like, we're in America. So when I found that information out, I think I was like 10 years into prison. And even me being in prison, I found it shocking. I was like, that's a lie. You know, like, I automatically stuck up for America. Like, that's a lie. Get out of here. And, I mean, you just looked it up right now. It's true, you know? And the only other one they used to say, I think it was Israel. It might be like Pakistan or something over there, right? But it's a country where I picture bombs on your vest. You know, it's a country like that, right? And they had like 7. California alone had like 8,000 of us, or let's just say 7,500. Let's not go to the 8. Let's go to 7,000. Let me drop it another 500. In California alone. So that's not saying Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Chicago, New York. That's not saying anywhere else. It's just saying California, 7,000, right? Versus 7 total. And you can kind of imagine their crimes if only 7 of them got it, you know? It's like, what did this little guy do, you know? But yeah, that was it was shocking when I first found it. I'm used to it now, so it's not it doesn't really affect me no more. But when I first found it out, I couldn't believe that.
Man, I never even thought about, you know, because like you said, that's the norm here in the United States. So that's what
Yeah.
I was used to. So yeah, I never thought of how other countries handle their juveniles, and if they sentence them to life. But apparently, you definitely opened my eyes today on something that I never even crossed my mind. That the way other countries handle their juvenile population when it comes to crime and punishment.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another one for you, ladies and gentlemen. You have a collect call from.
There it
Okay,
is.
we just busted numbers down. We just busted numbers down today, boys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And you know that installment program and lifers, like we're no better, we're worse actually in any category. But along with doing time, I've been meaning to say this, but I haven't said it. The women out there, like we destroy their lives so much, like sisters and moms and girlfriends, fiancés, like everybody takes a toll in this, And man, I know this. You talk about it. You said it. You said it better than I could have, James. You're like this. This life will only lead you to life in prison, crippled, or death. And there's women out there that experience this because they know people who have been in here. And even if you don't.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Even if you don't have a family member, right? Like there's so many women that meet guys in jail and develop genuine friendships, right? They laugh more, they smile more. You just give them a piece that was missing out of their life, and they go through this too. And it's not their fault. Like everything falls upon our shoulders. We're the ones that brought us in here. But I'm just saying their experiences are real, and it's because of us in here.
That's huge. That's huge. Sorry, I had my microphone on mute, and then my daughter
it's
walked
okay.
in. So, but
Yeah.
And D86 just put a comment in our chat here, and she says that's crazy. I didn't even know that. So that's another person that wasn't aware that that juveniles get life in the United States opposed to other countries that don't have life for juveniles. And she also writes we need to do better for our juvenile system. Yeah, the juvenile system is definitely needs a retuning or overhaul, to say the least.
Yeah, and I don't know if that 25%, that quarter of incarcerated individuals in California. I mean, not in California, in the United States, right? But in the world, I might be wrong. Keep in mind, I don't got no Google fingers in here, but I would have definitely fact checked everything I'm saying. I believe the U.S. is 5% of the world's population. So in America, we hold 5% of the world's population, but we hold 25% of incarcerated individuals from the world. Like, that is a crazy number. That's a whole different topic, but it's right there, neck and neck. This, the show's talking about people incarcerated, California prisoners. I'm sure maybe eventually it grows and we get prisoners from other states, but right now, so far as it stands, it's only us. And those numbers reflect all of us in the United States.
And I just looked that up
and
right
it's
now.
a crazy number.
As far as the U.S., what the population of what it was back in 2023, and it's estimated that it's about 4.23% of the world population, so right under 5%.
Okay. And will it tell us about the incarcerated individuals or no?
I could look it up, and I could go ahead and just, if you want to take over, and I'll look that up. You want to know how many, what compared to incarcerated individuals in the United States? What is it compared to other countries?
To the whole world, yeah. Okay. To everywhere else. and I do believe we're holding a quarter out of a dollar. So imagine another quarter, people. That'll be 50%. I mean, we're one quarter. We ain't that shy of another one.
Oh,
But at the same
man.
time, I know it's a far. Yeah.
So
What?
the U.S. It houses around 20% of the world prisoners.
Okay, so I was off by a nickel. Okay, I give him that.
But close enough.
But still, 20%'s a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, close enough. 20%'s a lot, though, right?
Yep, it is.
Do you know, James, that I believe that we make 100% of the military's armory, like their bulletproof vests and stuff like that. That comes from jails. I think their boots. I think everything military. I mean, not their guns, of course. Not no tanks, but I mean just their getup. You know?
Yeah, that was something I never even thought about that either. I knew about PIA, Prison Industries, and they're making like tables and
Le
office
queda un
furniture,
restante de 60 segundos.
shoes and clothing, and
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
even making calls. But yeah, that I never even thought about. Them making armory for what do you call it, for the U.S. Army, or not
Military.
military. Yeah. Okay, yeah, military, not armory, but
Yeah.
like their gear and their vest and whatnot.
Their canteens, probably. When I told you I was trying to go to the Army and we were writing Schwarzenegger from New Delano, the reason that idea even came about was because I was watching the news and these Army guys were asking their family to send them bulletproof vests because the Army wasn't providing them. Like the war had went that far into it, right? So when I seen that, I was like, come on, guys, huddle up. Let's go, let's write. This is our chance. We go to the Army, we win our freedom. If we die for our country, right? All that. But that's what motivated that idea. Because I seen these Army guys complaining.
All right, so his time was up. Obviously my clock was a little bit off, but right now when he calls back, we'll go ahead and continue. He's definitely dropping some knowledge right here that we wouldn't otherwise be hearing. But so I do appreciate him, bringing something different to the table and shedding light on it. So once he calls back, then he'll go ahead and continue with that. And I think I might be having one more call after this call, maybe at about 9 or 10. We're gonna go ahead and have JoJo on, I believe.
This call is now being
Esta es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Joe Perez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello?
All right, Joe.
Yeah.
So we just had a comment on here, or actually a few comments from ICEMAN. He puts Joe speaking facts, and then we also had Manny C. He's telling us good evening, James. Saludos. And ICEMAN is asking a question. He's asking the next question is why America has such a huge crime problem.
I don't know, but some people might argue they have a problem with the laws in place. Like, let me just say one that I know, right? If you're caught with I don't know how many grams of cocaine, right? Because they look at cocaine like lawyers do cocaine. Like, we don't want to bust our own, right? So if you're busted with so many grams of cocaine, let's say like 200 grams of cocaine, that is equal to like 5 grams of crack. And for those people that don't know what I'm saying, it's like cocaine is crack. Crack is like a watered down version of cocaine. Like you're cutting the cocaine, right? So you're making it weaker, actually. If you want to get to science, right? You're making the cocaine weaker. But the only people that sell crack are black people, Mexican people, because that's the whole reason you're buying the cocaine. You're cutting it, you're stepping on it, so you can make more of it, so you can make more money. So if you get busted, let's and again, I don't know these numbers, but we can Google. All this is general public information. If you get busted with so many grams of crack, you go to jail. But it'll take you like 200 or 500 grams of cocaine to get you that same jail, to get you the same consequence of going to jail. Now, isn't that crazy? Here's another one for you guys. In California, and I don't know how other laws mustered anything up, right? But in California, they started after I'm incarcerated. I didn't go through this, but people after me did. They will start giving you enhancements, and they'll give you like a gun enhancement, a gang enhancement, this and that and this, right? So say your crime carries 2 years. So you would think 2 years, but 2 years can turn to like 22 years because you get 10-year enhancement for the gun, 10-year enhancement for a gang, and the gang enhancement, here's the real kicker, because now laws are in place to take you back to court to take off the gang enhancement, because what they're doing is they're like, oh, that guy's from a gang. Oh, we know he is. But there's no proof. It's like you could just say that, and now that's 10 years. I get the gun, because obviously someone had to get caught with the gun. But the laws that started kicking in, because prison is a billion-dollar industry, right? So somewhere along the lines, they're like, how do we keep them here longer? Not now. Now we're kind of fixing things. Now we're trying to go back to things, right? And like, no, that's too much. But when the laws are created, like 20 years ago, it's like, how can we give them more time? Because if we give them extra years in jail, that's extra money. Now, I don't know who's getting the money at the end of the day, but I know it doesn't cost like $111,000 to house me in this room. I have the same clothes I got when I got here. It's not like we change out our sheets and we're just running through sheets and shoes and pants and shirts. Pretty much what they give you keep for 3 years until you transfer out, or if you stay longer, right? So it's not like there's an abundance of money going into us. You know, yeah, they have to hire COs, obviously. But if you break a prison down, 1 yard of inmates should cover the other 5 with paying for all the COs the whole year. Like, easy, it should cover that. Medical, too, everything. So what's the other 4? The 4 yards are all profit? I don't know where the profit's going, but it's a business at the end of the day. So you got people on both sides. You got people now that are fighting for us to get out, but you still got people on the other side like, that's our money, that's our piggy bank. Nah, we ain't doing that, you know? So I think it's both. It's a combination. Maybe other countries don't see stuff like that and don't harp on it.
I want to touch on something that or kind of compare. You know, you're saying like that either these organizations or people, you know, they expect this money, you know, from people, you know, people being incarcerated. But
yeah,
like in El Salvador, you know, at one point, you know, that place was definitely off the chain. You know, it's the size of Chicago, Illinois, and the crime rate was just astronomical, to say the least.
Yeah.
And you know, people were. I think at one point they were saying like 50 people a day were dying. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not. I should probably, you know, do some fact checking before I start talking about it. But I'm just shooting from the hip, so we'll go ahead and run with that. But so the way everything's, you know, changing, or it's changed in the last few years. A lot of mortuaries, you know, were dependent on, you know, all these people dying and getting buried and whatnot. And now, like, those companies went out of business because obviously nobody, the death rate is definitely down from what it was before. So, So it just kind of it's kind of a trip, how you don't think about these things, but people rely on people being incarcerated. People rely on people dying, um,
Yeah.
and they're making money off of us or people's misery
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I do believe, like, I believe people should be punished for crimes. I'm not saying anything other than that, right? I'm just saying that sometimes uh lawmakers affect the way the numbers might reflect when you're doing statistics of, like, how come we own 20% of the criminals in the world, right? So other countries might not handle stuff the same way, whereas we do. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying nobody should be punished. I'm definitely not saying that, and I don't want nobody thinking that. That's why I'm clearing that up a little bit, But the facts are the facts. Like, some people have put stuff into play so that
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
so that it could be what it is. Like, we got so deep in California, they were sending us to Arizona, Missouri, one other one. I just can't remember which one it is, But we were going to 3 different
Oklahoma,
states.
Missouri, and Arizona.
Oklahoma.
Mississippi.
And you know what that did? Mississippi. And you know what that did, James?
What was that?
That did this. The economy out there is not what California produces, right? So when those places were still open, like, they were getting hits from California. Now, not only did they know how to handle the violence when it was happening, because they were like, what the heck is this? They weren't used to seeing that. But another thing happened, and it goes to the business side of things, They seen all the homies with money. They seen all the Crips and Bloods with money. They seen, like, oh, California got cash. What's up, green dots? Who got green dots? Like, and you wouldn't even think something like that. But because we have more money, well, we could just, like, what you need. You need this. We got it, right? So even that changed the culture of their prison system, because their inmates live where they live, and they didn't have the money like that. Or we came out and they seen shiny diamonds, like, oh, I'm gonna come up. So, I mean, it's $1 billion business, legitly. But there's a invisible number where it's a business otherwise,
You know what? And a few months or maybe like a year or so ago, I was watching one of the dudes. I don't recall exactly who it was, but it was one of the dudes from Bone Thugs and Harmony, I think. And he was talking
Yeah.
about how, like, I'm not sure if it was like sometime in the 90s or maybe the 2000s, where he went to this meeting with like executives of the music industry, but it also had people that invested or owned private prisons, and they
Yeah.
wanted them to push negative music to help fill these prisons. How crazy is that, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Well, you I get it. I get what you're saying. How crazy is it? But stand from the business side of it. Pretend you're in the man with a business suit saying, hey, let's come up. Hey, can you guys make some more raps about killing people? Hey, can you just like go thug with it? Like, start wearing your bandana like Tupac. Like, let's get them all in there. From a business standpoint, that makes a lot of sense, right? Now, from a human standpoint, it's like, how could you even think of such a thing? Like, you're playing with real lives here. One thing is being a genuine to your music and sharing your life through your music. No one's saying nothing about that. But it's another thing when you got some executive promoting and trying to influence you to, like, hey, let's get this money. Let's make Chicago go up right now. All these fools will come in, and we got the prisons to house them. Let's split. I'll cut you in. Like, that's more nefarious conversations right there. Because not only are they getting people into prison, but no one's even thinking about the victims that they're going to create, you know? And that's a whole nother thing to look at when you're plotting and business scheming like that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a crazy world.
All they're after is the almighty dollar.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah. All they're after is the dollar, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but private prisons, yeah, definitely. I mean, and you know, we're talking about private prisons, and I was gonna say like something about them, but I really can't, because all they're doing is they're seeing the real prisons, and they're like, hey, I want a piece of that. If that's the government, who cares? Let's make a private one, because I want a piece of their money, because they got a good thing going, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and obviously there was a void in California, and all they were doing was, filling it and filling their pockets at the end of the day. So they're killing two birds with one stone. They saw a need, and
you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't say this earlier on, guys, but at High Desert we had a warden, right? We had a warden that was there, and they pay the wardens. I don't know what they get paid, but he was stealing prison money. Like for the prison, like say it's a PPF, right? And a PPF is like the microwaves, the sofas, like they're trying to change it into like getting you used to the streets. Like you're not an animal no more. We're gonna change this for you. And while they do that, they got funding. Gavin Newsom will sign I don't know how much million into the prison system, right? 1.1 million or 23 million or whatever the dollar amount is, right? So that gets signed in, and that's what the prisons have to make it, quote unquote, they're supposed to be changing it, right? So this warden, he was taking all this PPF money, and I don't know how much it is. I don't know if it's 800,000. I don't know if it's 2 mil. I don't know what it is. But
le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And at the same time, he had major entitlement issues, and he had major disrespectful issues because he slapped like a CO right there that was working there. So he got walked off the yard. Now, were charges ever filed against him? No. They don't want a stain like that. But he was demoted. They ripped him of his title of being a warden. But if you steal money like that and you're a regular citizen, that's a crime. Like, you will go to jail, right? But because he's a warden and they don't want the publicity, or I don't know what reasons, right? Maybe they're like, if you're one of our own, we'll protect you, and if you break the law, I don't know what they're doing. But no charges were filed against him. And if Google fingers work good enough, I bet you could find out the name and the incident, because that was not, like, it can't be that much of a secret. That's what I'm saying, right? We can dig this guy up. I just don't want to say his name because I might have...
All right, I might look that up right now. As soon as he calls back, I'll go ahead and double check that. I gotta double check what prison that was at. I don't recall. My short-term memory is really bad, but luckily Joe, he has a really good memory, so I'm pretty sure he could go ahead and provide me with that information when he calls back. And I just saw a while ago GyroLamb. I really appreciate, and everybody that's participating in the chat. Really, really appreciate you guys, coming in, and a lot of you guys, are coming in, day after day. And when I started this, or when I had this vision of this YouTube channel, I really didn't know, if there was gonna be a big interest in it, just because of the content that I wanted to put out. It's not like the stuff that everybody else is putting out. I wanted it to be a little bit different, at least maybe some type of value, maybe some, if it's not our listeners, maybe they have a family member that could get something positive, from these conversations, if you will. And in the next coming weeks, I plan to do some more in-person visits. It's just I'm kind of I'm spread thin right now, so I'll probably be making another trip, in the next few weeks, maybe a week or two, this week coming up on the weekend, I'm not gonna be, most likely I won't be doing streaming, just because I'm gonna be going out of town with my wife, or we're gonna go. My wife and and our 5-year-old, we're gonna be heading up north to Canada for the weekend. So I don't know. I'll see how it plays out, because I'm gonna take my laptop with me, but I'm not planning anything. But most likely you guys won't be getting any streams on the weekend.
This call is now being recorded.
Este es Global Tel-Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Joe Perez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello,
Joe.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah, what's giving me difficulties calling back?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back on though.
So right now, I was mentioning to the viewers that this weekend I most likely won't be doing any streams, and that's just because we're gonna be taking a vacation. We're gonna be heading up north to Canada for the weekend. So
okay.
Just a FYI, I'm gonna take my laptop with me, but
yeah,
I
got
know.
you.
We'll see. If I have some time, then I will. But I'm not setting anything up just because I want to focus on that and get away from this at least for like a few days and clear my mind and
yeah,
see what Canada has to offer that the U.S. doesn't have.
Hey, be careful with that mustache you have, man. They don't allow criminals in Canada, bro. They might mistake you. I'm just saying, bro. Drake barely got his dad in Canada, and look, that's Drake, man. Yeah. He barely got his dad in Canada, like after all these years,
That's right. I'm gonna have to go trim it down. I'm gonna have to go get the number 1 clip and size it down for Canada.
Or you better Google some of their Canada the patrolmen. They talk a little different. If you could get their slang down or something, maybe they'll think you're one of theirs. Hey, Monty, or hey, matey, or however they talk,
I think they say A,
yeah.
like A on the back of when they finish speaking, and then ICEMAN just put that on there.
Oh yeah. Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Orale, ICEMAN, hey, hey, go get some brewskis, hey. Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
You get used to that. Yeah. No, that's cool, James. You go enjoy yourself, man, and you go decompress. ICEMAN, everybody will be here when you come back.
That's right. Or who knows? Maybe I'll take some of my equipment and go a little bit mobile and do one from the Canadian border or something. do a live stream.
Live from the Niagara Falls. This is what it looks like jumping in. You video.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Man, I better not. Hey, James, I better not see you on one of those big old skyscrapers dangling off the edge, seeing how far you could go, looking straight down. You can't be doing none of that. Yeah.
Yeah, nah. I gotta keep that down to a minimum. But right now that you mentioned the Niagara Falls, we've actually been to Niagara Falls. We went out there maybe like, man, it's probably been like 8 years. But man, it's definitely something to to go check out if you ever have the opportunity. I highly recommend it. It's something different. I remember when we went in December and it was really cold up there. It was so cold that that when the water was because it's shooting up in the air, then it's coming down but when it goes into the air, it was freezing up. So we were having like little snowflakes from Niagara Falls.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Something to think about. And what's on the other side of Niagara? Is it Michigan and stuff like that, or no?
So
like Chicago, is that where it's located?
So where we entered through, we actually flew into Buffalo, New York, and then from Buffalo, New York, we rented a car and we drove up to the border, which I think it was about a 30-minute drive from the Buffalo airport, and then from there I think we crossed over on the Rainbow. I want to say the Rainbow Bridge. and
Yeah.
then and then once you cross over, you're in Niagara or Niagara Falls.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's cool, man.
And it looks just
I
like the
like it.
U.S. Just like the U.S. The only thing that you see over there that it's not coming out here in California, or you don't see it in California because there isn't any. They got this place called Tim Hortons, which is kind of like a donut and coffee place, and they're all over the place right there.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, Tim Hortons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I never heard of it, but to any Canadians hearing, we send you peace, love, and more love. Hey. Hey.
Yeah, you got it. You got
it. Yeah. Yeah. We love Drake. We love Drake and The Weeknd and Justin Bieber.
That's right. That's right. I didn't know. I didn't know
Yeah.
The Weeknd was Canadian.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He's I've been with The Weeknd since what was it? The Trilogy Candy Shop or Candy something. Before he got big, before the 50 Shades of Grey put him out there with that one song.
Wow.
And then he did the Beauty Behind the Madness. But yeah, but he's been around for a while out there in the Canadian streets.
And Dia just put a comment right here, and she says, "I can see this channel growing big. Keep it up, James." Hey, that's hopefully that's the vision I had. That's what I've been envisioning for the last few years before I started this, and hopefully with the help of gentlemen like Big Joe, that they're able to get us up there and grow. And we're about 20 subscribers from hitting that 1,000, so definitely exciting. I really don't talk about it that much as far as like asking people to subscribe and like and all that stuff, because ultimately if you guys like it, you guys are gonna subscribe. If you guys like it, then you guys are gonna share it with your friends and hit the thumbs up, so that's one of the things I don't that's why you guys don't hear me talking about it, because if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And you guys don't need any input from me, to do those actions. But like I said,
yeah, absolutely. What Mercedes tells you to put a bumper sticker on it, right? None. We just word of mouth. Baby. Bring them in. And you know what, James? Let's see if I can help you with that before you come back. Do you know I came out in a video?
Nah. Video? What kind of video?
Okay, well, I hope we got a good 15 minutes right here, because this is going to take a little bit. So, I don't know nothing about the facts I'm going to tell everybody, right? So, I could be completely wrong. I'm just going to tell you what they told me. They told me every time the Pope, the Papa, the big Papa from the Vatican, the Pope, every time he visits a country, he goes to the juvenile halls. He goes to the jails, to the prisons. He goes and sees the incarcerated before he'll see the president. Before he'll meet up with any politician, he goes and sees what he calls God's people, right? The broken. So when the Pope, and this is Pope Francis, this is the Pope of all popes, in my opinion. I love this Pope we got right now, right? When he came to America, well, that's a saying that he goes and visits all the prisons and jails and juvenile halls, and he wants to meet God's people. He wants to save the ones that are lost, right? So there's this woman, and her name is Jennifer Kelly, Kelly, and she made a song for the Pope, and it's called Blessed, just bless with the ED, Blessed. And in that video, that she made him a song. She sings him the Blessed song. But I think that video was made like in a dedication to the Pope for coming to America. So in the video, there's all kinds of pictures of incarcerated individuals. Now, I don't know if they're from the entire United States of America. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know one little picture is from California. And I'm in that video, and I did not know that and I was at a church in prison. I was in the church, and it was like a retreat, and they played this video, and I never seen it before in my life. And then all the homies looked back, and everyone's like, "You're in the video, you're in the video," and I'm like, "What these fools talking about?" You know, because I'm not even tripping on them, but they're like rewind, so they're telling the deacon or the pastor, they're like, "Hey, rewind," and he's like, "Hold on, let it play, you know," and then I'll go to it. So there was a couple people from the streets, and I do believe Sister Mary was one of them. I can't remember if Father Boyle was right there. Father Mike was right there, but it was a lot of people from the streets, like big time church people. So then they rewind the video, and I see it, and I'm right there, and they were like, "You little celebrity," you know, all these people, and I was like, "Oh, these people are crazy," but yeah, it made me feel very blessed and very good to be in that video, and those were the people that told me, like, he goes and visits the juvenile halls and the prisons and all that, you know. And that's Pope Francis. That's this Pope. I believe we still got the Pope, right? The same one? The cool one?
To be honest with you, I don't keep up with that, but I could look it up right now.
Okay. No, it's okay. Just go. You got the song right there. What was it? Jennifer Kelly, Bless It. Yeah, and for the viewers, you could take a guess at who I am in there, and if you guess it right, you just do it to James. You send the messages. Do what you do to James, and when he comes back from this vacay in Canada, we'll revisit that and see if you got it right. I'm the flyest one in the whole video, so that might help you guys out.
Oh, okay. I found the video. I'm actually gonna add a link on to the video, so like that if anybody's interested in, or I'll put it in the chat and in the video description. Yeah. And so like that they could go ahead and
that's gonna get you. That's gonna get you, James. That's gonna get you your thou. Your thou wow.
There it
is. Gonna get it right there.
No. You know what? You know what's gonna give me to the 1,000? It's gonna be I just renamed this video.
Is it Taylor Swift pregnant?
Yeah, Taylor
Swift got pregnant.
Taylor Swift pregnancy rumors. Let's see where that takes us. Let's see.
My boy, we're gonna hit 1 million views. My boy, don't do that to us. They're gonna be like, this fool is goofy. Yeah.
Talking about Taylor Swift in prison? What's going on?
Oh no, my boy. I had all Taylor Swift CDs at one point, right? I mean, not now, but before, like 1989, all that, right in the back. And you will be surprised. Like, I'll be bumping them. Like, I got no shame in my game. I'll bump Taylor, like, loud. I don't care. I love her music, right? And then you hear fools like, "Man, is that Taylor? Turn that shit off," right? There, everyone's like, "Turn it off," right? And then when everyone's quiet and everyone's in the cells, you know, somebody will sneak over and be like, "Hey, fool, can I use that Taylor Swift CD?" I'm like, "Which one?" They're like, "The one you play." I'm like, "I got all of them, fool. You got to be specific. Like, give me a song, you know?" But, yeah, everybody used to love bumping Taylor. And those were the same guys that will be telling me lower it, you know? So the same fools that'll be like, "Man, you better knock that off." They'll double back and they'll always ask me, "Hey, let me bump that CD." And I'll be like, "Go ahead, fool, don't scratch it," you know?
Man, that's a trip. That's funny.
Yeah.
I find that humorous.
Yeah, I mean, I never bumped no Jonas Brothers, but Taylor Swift, Adele,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, heavy rotation right there, man. And you probably wouldn't think. Adele might hear this one day and she'd be like, "Oh my God, they bumped me in prison," you know? Thank you guys. Drop a F-bomb here and there, you know?
That's right. I know we're getting kind of short right now. We're down to like a minute and some change.
Okay.
And you know, unfortunately, you know, I got some pending things, and I think my wife's making dinner. So, you know, with that, you know, I want to go ahead and give a thank you to everybody that participated in the chat today. First up is ICEMAN, D86, and she's from Riverside County, and then also Manny C.
What?
GyroLamb, and that's it for the chat participation. But hey, you know what? I appreciate every single one of you guys, you know, coming in, you know, day after day, week after week. You guys are the reason that we keep on coming back, because if nobody was seeing or anybody joining or nobody watching these videos, then we wouldn't be here, you know.
Le
So
queda un restante de 60 segundos.
there is some type of interest, you know, in listening to these conversations, you know, and I really appreciate it. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and hand over the mic to Big Joe here.
Oh man, thank you everybody for listening in, and thank you everybody that's not listening in that'll come through, fly through later on, and man, I just wish you guys the best, you know. And thank you, James, and I'll see you in 10 days, you know, 20 days, whenever you come back from the vacay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be back before the weekend's over. So, but I wish that it would be a lot longer. But we do have some other vacations coming up this year, so definitely, you know, tune in for that. Maybe I'll share, you know, maybe I'll upload a few clips and whatnot, and let you guys know, you know, what we're looking at over here.
Okay. The candle.
All right, and like candle. I say, it's like a candle. Once you blow it, it lights out. All right, and with that, I'm out.